Hi, here we are in Iceland with Citizen Voice. We haven't done an interview for 3 or 4 days, and we have been called to do one more here with Ryan Parteka. We met at the Jim Hansen conference, news conference in Paris, maybe 10 days ago, and are visiting his home and got some good information about where to go. But what we're really interested in is why Ryan is here and what he's working on in helping to build the Citizen Voice and Citizen Climate Lobby. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about your work here and why the work that CCL is doing intrigues you.
Well, Iceland's in a very unique position in the world. A lot of people look as being a gleaming white pearl in the North Atlantic, and we can be this beacon in the storm of climate change here. We have clean energy. We have an abundance of geothermal energy in the ground that heats our homes. We have the potential, and I think I'm interested in that agenda being pushed here in Iceland, becoming a model country.
And generally, Iceland's going through this tremendous upsurge of tourism, and the economy seems to be booming, but the impact on the average Icelandic person might not reflect that. So how would a carbon fee and dividend have an impact on a average Icelander?
The dividend would be a boom. This would be great. We've looked at a way to I guess we've looked at the impact of tourism. We have now 1.3 million tourists that have come through Iceland this year alone, and it's increased 30% each year for the past 3 years. And we wonder, if these numbers keep growing, how can this be sustainable? And well, there's a few simple solutions, which is charging the tourists a certain fee for the ones that choose to rent a car. But then we can have electric vehicles for them to rent, or hydrogen vehicles for them to rent. But to actually have a carbon dividend, this would push more of us to adopt electric vehicles or hydrogen vehicles here in Iceland. Can develop our infrastructure for bicycles and pedestrian foot traffic, and again, it can offset our giant footprint, because something unknown to most of the world is that Iceland has the largest carbon footprint per capita. So that's one thing.
That is news to me when you think of the geothermal and the availability, but then when you come here and you see there is no light rail yet, there's lots of bus and car traffic, so it's interesting. Perception is everything for people, and some people perceive the country and don't understand the issues on a deeper level. And you've been here for how many years?
I've been here 8+ years. Mm-hmm. And just to go back on that note about the carbon footprint, if everyone were to live like an Icelander, we would need 15 Earths to sustain that. So that's something that's only come into Icelanders' eyes, or come to light recently, that the footprint is so large. And if you've probably noticed, everyone has a car too. Everyone drives, and the price of petrol here is so cheap. So introducing a carbon fee or dividend to that might then make people think twice about driving by themselves somewhere in their giant Jeep, and alternatively take public transportation, for example. But the simplest thing that we talked a little bit earlier is Iceland, or Reykjavik's looking to develop a bicycle network of paths, and it's great. I've got one by my house where I can ride from my house 30 kilometers along the ocean and through a valley and a river into a reservoir, into a mountain, and uninterrupted without crossing a road. And if we can have a larger bicycle network like this, more people might choose to ride a bike. Well, how do we subsidize that? well, a carbon fee on petrol sold within the city of Reykjavik would be a start.
Very fascinating. And we've learned from our conversations, too, that you do have a very supportive mayor. The president, whom we met in Paris, this is an agenda item that he holds highly. And so this could be a way forward to engage more of the people. You talk about 1.3 million tourists in a country of 200,000 people.
310,000 people.
Right. So we're
Give or take.
yeah. So we're talking about there are more foreigners here than there are people that live here. So we are excited about the opportunity to connect with you and with how we can grow CCL in the country, and coming back and finding a good place to go kayaking and getting up close with the glaciers.
Yes, you can come to Iceland to witness climate change firsthand. You can kayak through the Calvin Glacier, and well, it's quite awe-inspiring to do that. Yeah, and I would let's start an Icelandic chapter of CCL here in Iceland.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And one interesting fact about Ryan, he has been overshadowed by Will Steger, our Minnesota hero. He and his friend were going to be the first to kite ski across Greenland, and Will, you beat him to it. But they're still looking at another route.
Yeah. We'll do the east-west route, and give you credit for the north-south route. So, good job on that.
Yeah, and maybe we can get you to meet Will next time when you come to the States.
Yeah, have him bring his kites.
Great.
And, yeah.
All right, signing off, Citizen Voice from Reykjavik.